Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a super fun and a little bit of a different video because today, instead of actually showing you a bunch of physical yarn and fabrics that I already have, we are going to be browsing together online to look at patterns that I would like to make this fall and winter season, and then the fabrics and the yarns that I would pick for them. So it's kind of window shopping. I might actually purchase something, we'll really have to see. And we're just gonna see together what is out there. So for this video I will be recording my screen, and I'm now seeing that I didn't charge my laptop, so I hope I can make it through the end of this video. And also Ravelry is down at the same time, which is immaculate timing. So we're going to be starting with the sewing patterns, and then hopefully when we're done with those, then Ravelry is back online. Let's hope, crossing my fingers. And yeah, I'm gonna go grab my charger for my laptop and then let's get started. Okay, so one of the first actually indie pattern makers that I really love right now is Apolline pattern. She's actually, I think, from France. So most of the patterns are in French, but they also come in English. So they're kind of combined. And actually one of the patterns that I'm currently making of hers is for a coat. For some reason the website is very slow right now, but I will show you what that coat looks like. Okay, so this is the coat that I'm actually currently making. It's called the Lorraine. And I think it's very unique. I especially loved this little scallop detail that it had on the front. I thought that was very nice. Then this specific sample that she did doesn't have any closure, so like no buttons here. But then there is one, this one specifically, that I think is just absolutely adorable. Like with the buttons and then the different fabric color and then the print is just adorable. And I also like that this one has kind of like an A-line shape. I tried to find a coat pattern with an A-line shape and it was incredibly difficult, and I'm very happy that I was able to find this one. So far it has been really good. Then there's also a version that kind of looks like a trench coat, so that's also nice with this little drawstring waist, if that's something that you're looking for. So despite me already making this pattern right now, I still wanted to share and mention it because I think I'm going to love this pattern, and I think one day I will probably make a second version. So I feel like we should look online a little bit to see what kind of fabrics there are out there. I would love to make it in some type of wool fabric. And there's actually one store that I really like their wool fabrics. I mean, I like a lot of their fabrics, so they are also international. So I didn't really want to share a lot of Dutch web stores, which is where I would usually go to. But I'm going to see like more international stores. So the first one is actually Selfmade. They are based in Germany, which is really nice. And they have a lot of nice fabrics. So let's go to their wool selection. And let's just browse. This leopard one over here, I've actually made a bag with that one, and it was a really nice fabric. I would definitely be open to making a coat in this one. I think the price is also fairly reasonable, 22 euros per meter. Of course, it's not the cheapest, but it is a wool fabric. And then all of these ones are just plain, so that does not really pique my interest. And then here they actually have some plaid ones. So this one, the orange and blue one, is actually quite nice. Then I also really like this one with the big checks. I believe this one I've looked at before, and it is very, like here you can see, it's very dramatic, so like oversized kind of check, but it's very nice. It's also a little bit cheaper, it's 17 euros per meter. And then this one is also one that I've had my eye on for quite a while, but it's very expensive. It's 25 euros and 50 cents per meter. So definitely a little bit steep in my opinion, and it is currently on sale. So, oh, I'm also seeing that it's out of stock, so I can buy it anyways. But it's very nice. I do really like this like houndstooth with this specific color palette. I think, yeah, it's definitely very unique. And then I would also love like a teddy fabric. So let's see what they have for a teddy fabric. Well, this is always nice, just like a dusty purple color. But I know, yeah, they also have some prints. So for example here, they have one with stripes. Not really my thing, but it's very unique. Then here with a little like artistic thing going on. Oh, I love this one. The one with the flowers, also 22 euros per meter. So again, a little bit more expensive. But this would be so cute as a coat. And I'm also actually thinking like a quilted waistcoat or like a vest pattern. I know that Apolline Patterns also has a vest pattern, which I will show you now because I'm also kind of drawn to that and honestly would like to make that one as well. It's actually this one. So you can make it as a jacket or as a vest, which is really nice. And then it also has like contrasting bias binding, which you can see here, which is a really nice detail. And here you can see how she made it as a vest. I also really like how she styled it with like this little mini skirt and then knee-high boots. That is very nice. Also has nice and big pockets. I just think this would be a really nice classic sewing pattern that you can make again and again. I also think her patterns are very reasonably priced. I know that pricing, I often talk about it, but it's something that is very personal and everyone can do whatever they want. But I do think nowadays I see a lot more patterns priced 15 euros and above, so upwards to 20 euros. And I do think, in my personal opinion, that is quite a lot for a sewing pattern, just because most of us, it seems, do sew something like at least once or twice a month, and I just feel like it really adds up, especially with all of the fabric that you have to buy and other notions. I think between 10 and 15 euros is, in my opinion, a little bit more of a reasonable price, and I do understand, of course, like I always mention, all of the work that goes into it, but still, should we really be paying like that much money for especially like a simple pattern? I don't really get it, to be honest. Anyways, I love this one, and this would be so cute. Then there's also another pattern that I have my eye on, but it's not yet released. So I'm gonna go to Instagram because it's from Alyssa Threads. So here she is. And she has actually been working on this design for quite a while, and it's this one. So it's the one with the collar. Like, this is adorable, and this just screams like fall and winter to me. I know there are a couple of versions, so you can make it with this like more open neckline. Then there are 2 different color options. Then you can make it, I think, with short sleeves, no sleeves, and also long sleeves. And I may or may not have already gotten denim fabric to make a denim version. Actually, just like this one in her picture, because I was so inspired by this. I think this is just really nice. And I'm picturing it like layered with like a turtleneck underneath, or like a little cardigan over top. And then you can still have like the big collar poking out. It's adorable. And I need to make this one as soon as it's released. I did apply for the tester call, but I didn't get chosen, which, you know, that happens, but I was really hoping that I would be. You know, it gives you something to look out for when something is released, and it also makes you a little bit more sure. So usually with a tester call, you kind of apply on a whim, at least for me, because you just get really excited. But then this is something that I've just been looking at and thinking about for a very long time. So I know for sure that this is something worth making and something that's really going to be good in my personal wardrobe. And by the way, just look at all of these fabric options. Like, I love all of them, and I feel like this is a pattern that I'm probably going to make like 4 different versions of. Like, it's just really good. So I'm excited for that to release. I know that there are probably other patterns that are similar, but I just want this one, and I want it now. But I'm gonna have to be patient, sadly. Then actually another pattern from Apolline. Basically this video is gonna be like me just talking about her patterns, but she had some really cute skirts and also pants. And I would love to probably make a pair of like more tailored trousers. I think is really nice. So here you can see a little bit better. I think this would be so festive, but also just really cute, like worn to work. And especially like here with the knee-high boots again, a sweater. It's just a super fun skirt, and I don't sew with like drapey fabrics like viscose or like satin types of fabrics very often. So to find a pattern that works well for that type of fabric, I really like, because for a dress, in my personal opinion, I kind of just prefer like cotton fabrics for some reason. And for a skirt, I think this, like a viscose fabric, would be really nice. So this is definitely one that I would love to make. And then she also has some pants patterns, like I said. So for example, this one, the paperback trousers, I really like. So here you can see it with the different versions. I will probably make it like a little bit flared like that. But it's so cute, and with the leather belt, that is so nice. And I think I'm just really drawn to her specific style right now, because it really reminds me personally of Cézanne. It's maybe also because it's a French brand. And I always love Cézanne, but especially in the fall and winter season, I just feel like they nail their designs every single year. And I actually just got some boots on Vinted as well that really give me Cézanne vibes. So I'm very excited to style those with some like more chic clothing, I would say. Then something that is quite the opposite actually is there is a website called the Foldline, and you can find a bunch of sewing patterns on that website, which is really amazing. So there's actually one pattern that I came across throughout this website, and it's called the Jessie Jumpsuit. So there are a bunch of different brands basically on this website, and you can buy a pattern here or you can go to the actual pattern maker. But I wouldn't have known about this pattern if it wasn't for this website. So I think it's a really good one if you're trying to find sewing patterns. So it's this one. It's called the Jessie Jumpsuit by Modern Sewing Co. And I think it's adorable because it has an elasticated waist, which is very unique and definitely something that I've not seen before in a jumpsuit. It also has a lot of beautiful stitching details. So just by looking at this collar and this pocket detail, you can see that this is like really well made. Like the facing here it's just super well crafted. And this definitely looks like something that was designed with like a lot of attention to detail, which I really appreciate. And I think it's very impressive, especially as someone that also makes sewing patterns. Like, this is a very skilled sewist, and yeah, I'm just very impressed with this pattern. And I think it will be so fun to style in the fall and winter. I probably would make like a long version. I think here, yeah, she has some kind of mid-length sleeve. I would like to just have a long sleeve personally. And I think this would be so fun in, for example, a corduroy fabric. So let's just browse online to see if we can find a corduroy fabric. I'm probably first just going to Google, but I bet I'm going to get a lot of Dutch links. So like expected, a lot of the websites are Dutch, but there is this website that I know from heart that I think is located in Portugal, and they have a lot of affordable fabrics. So I'm just gonna see there if they have anything that I would like. Like a canvas could also be nice, or twill, but I'm looking for corduroy. Right now I'm not sure if I'm seeing it, but oh, gingham. Let's see what gingham fabrics have. Oh, this is very cute. It does say it's 100% polyester, but it's very nice. And actually this one next to it, that would be so cute for like a dress or something. And as you can see, it's €6 per meter. Like I said, they just have a lot of nice fabrics. I also like this dark brown one. Let's see, the denim fabrics. Not really anything exciting. Maybe I can just search for corduroy. I'm not sure if it's going to... Oh yeah, there are some results here. The pink one is always nice. But I'm thinking more so like a darker fabric. Like for example, this brown one is very nice. And this one is actually a knitted fabric, so it will be very comfortable. I'm not sure if that's what I'm looking for, but it's very nice. And it's only like €8 per meter, which is very affordable. I think they also have, yeah, wool fabric. So let's see, maybe... Oh, this is really cool actually. Maybe I can find something for the coat like I was saying. I don't know if I was bold enough to wear this, but this is very cool, you have to admit. They also have flannel, which I always love. They have it with a check print. Oh, and also Harry Potter. That would be so fun for pajamas. I'm kind of a Harry Potter fan, so I would actually love to make something with this fabric. Very nice. And maybe I can also find like a viscose fabric. This one, for example, is a viscose fabric. It's kind of fun, but I'm not like blown away by it. Okay, I think I'm gonna search for viscose and see what comes up. I also like this like burgundy one. I think that could also be nice. Or this one, the brown one. That's also very cute. I basically just want everything to be like brown and fall looking right now. I'm very predictable. This is also appearing nice. So first off we have this one. This is a cream viscose fabric. Kind of reminds me a bit of a block print fabric. I do think it's very cute. I'm just not sure if I want to go for something white, so probably this is not it. Then we have this red one, but I do think I'm very specific with prints sometimes. But that print is kind of like too bold and too big. I think I prefer like a smaller floral print. So I feel like this also is not it yet. And also €8. I feel like we can do better. I need to really love it for €8 because viscose fabrics is usually like €10 a meter. This one I'm also not loving, but that's because I'm seeing a face here. Like these are the eyes, and then a mouth. I don't know if you're also seeing it, but it looks like a frog or something. I don't know. I'm also not feeling this one, but it could have been nice and it definitely had potential. Then there's also this website. This is actually a Dutch website, but I do think they sell throughout all of Europe. And they usually have a lot of discounted fabrics, so I'm gonna just search for corduroy. Then they have soft corduroy for €4 per meter. This one looks nice, but yeah, it's polyester. This one is also nice, but it's also polyester, nylon and spandex. And I definitely do not want like a polyester fabric. I'm more so looking for, oh, this is cool. Yeah, for something more natural. But this one is also 100% polyester. There's not necessarily something wrong with 100% polyester, but I just don't like wearing it. So if I were to use it, I'd probably just make like a pillow or something. I think this could be a really fun Christmassy pillow, even though that's not what we're looking for right now. Maybe we should also look for wool. Like, let's just see what wool fabrics they have. Okay, they have some very funky prints. Again, not really my cup of tea, but if this is like up your alley, then I think you would like these fabrics. They're like normal boyette wool is very affordable, like €15 for wool. That is very cheap. So if you're looking for something, I would definitely go. I'm not really sure if I'm seeing anything that I particularly love. I am now looking through all of the new fabrics. Oh, they have some ripped jerseys. Ripped jerseys are always really nice actually. which reminds me of the fact that I would love to make a honey tee and a honey dress by, I think, Paradise Patterns. I will find it for you. It's honey tee. Okay, pattern, because we're not getting any results. Yeah, this one. Like the dress version is so cute, which I cannot find right now, but here it is. It's adorable. Like, look at this. This for the fall and winter season with like a vest. Yeah, it's just adorable. I'm not sure if I would want to make the long version or the shorter version. I think probably the shorter version, but that's also because I feel a little bit self-conscious wearing something that is so like form-fitting, or maybe it's not that form-fitting as I'm thinking it is. I'm not sure, but I do really love this pattern, and I actually have the fabric for it, so really I have nothing holding me back. But this would be really cute in like a ripped jersey like this, and €7 per meter, that is a very good deal. So okay, so I just looked on my wish list, and there's actually one final pattern that is on my list that I would love to make, and that is the Marnie dress by Tilly and the Buttons, which is a very ruffly dress or blouse. And then you can also make it with pin tucks as is shown here, which I absolutely love. I would probably make a dress version with the pin tucks and all of the ruffles. I just love this pattern. I think it's adorable. And this again would be really fun to just layer with like a wool turtleneck underneath to keep warm, and then with tights and boots and you're basically done. So this is probably something that I would love to make in a cotton fabric. Probably a plaid or a gingham, preferably a seersucker fabric, like a seersucker gingham would be really cute. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so this is actually from the UK, but I'm just going to open it to see what it is. A lot of the time seersucker fabrics actually have polyester in there, which is not the best. I would prefer to just be like 100% cotton. Yeah, here 50% polyester as I expected, but it is nice, £10 per meter. And I'm actually now remembering that I also found a French fabric website yesterday. This was the website. It's called Mondial Tissues. And they have a lot of beautiful fabrics. I do think most of their fabrics are quite like high priced, but it might be worth it. I've never tried it myself. So let's just see. Seersucker. So yeah, for example, this is kind of like exactly what I'm looking for in this caramelly color. That is very beautiful. And I'm just now thinking that actually Selfmade, the one that I showed, like the first website that I showed, also has a lot of seersucker fabric, so I'm probably going to check that out afterwards. But I'm also looking at this, like this is also adorable with the little check and the hearts. That's very cute. €16 per meter, so like I said, it's not like the cheapest fabric there's out there. And sadly it is 50% polyester. So let's see what Selfmade has in store. Oh yeah, I knew that they had this one, and this one would be very cute. Ooh, it's 100% polyester. Now I really don't like it anymore. Okay, maybe they have something else. Organic seersucker. Kind of really want like a very autumnal color. Like I would rather than do this one, even though I'm not like blown away by it. I think that would be better. Okay, I think those were all of them. But this is quite nice. It again has polyester, but not that much. I just don't know if I like black in a fabric. Again, this one is out of stock, so can't buy it sadly. But this one is a lot more promising, and this one is 60% cotton, 40% polyester, but it's very cute, and I think €15, I think that's a reasonable price. Okay, so those were all of the sewing patterns and the fabrics that I would love to eventually get, and the patterns that I would eventually love to make. I really hope you enjoyed that. I know it was kind of like a part 2 of my fall and winter like sewing and knitting plans, but those were just like plans that I had in my mind, and now I feel like I'm actually getting to the phase where those plans are finally coming into fruition. And also, as you may have been able to see, like honestly I don't even remember what plans I showed in that video, but I do know for a fact that they probably changed a lot, and I'm happy with the plans that I currently made. I feel like these plans would fill a lot of the gaps that I have in my wardrobe. So I'm gonna go see if Ravelry is back online, because I do have a couple of knitting projects planned, but not a lot. But as you can see, it's back online, which is very exciting. Ooh, so the first one is actually the Loom pullover, and then also this skirt. So, oh, and also this one. Okay, let's start with the Loom pullover. So actually I do have the yarn ready to go for this one. I'm going to be making it probably with Scheepjes Wool Base, which is their new wool base. It's actually made from recycled merino wool. It's a beautiful yarn, but I want to use a hand-dyed contrasting color, and I'm just waiting for the brand's approval if I can use a different brand of yarn with that. But if I can't, I'm actually going to do a blue contrasting color. So I'm just going to show you the exact yarn base so you can see all of the colors. So this is for sure going to be my main color, and actually have it at home here already. It comes in 100-gram balls that each have 200 meters, so a DK weight. It's very beautiful. And I was thinking if I have to use one of theirs, I'm either going to use like this honey mustard yellow color, which is very nice, or I'm going to do something very different, at least for me personally, and I'm going for like this light blue, which is called Frosty Sky, and I think that would be a really nice change. Now the only problem is that the Loom pullover is actually knit on 5mm needles for a worsted weight yarn, and I would be using a DK weight yarn, so I really don't know how that would work. I would really have to swatch and see how my gauge is. I was also thinking that based on the swatch, maybe I could size up or down in needle size, or I could size up like multiple sizes in a pattern. I've never really done that before, so I'm kind of worried, but I do really love the Loom pullover and it's in my pattern library. So I feel like since I have it in my library, it's been on my make 9 for this year, I feel like I might as well, you know, try to make it and hopefully things work out. And if it doesn't, I do have other brown yarn that I could hold with a mohair, so maybe that could work, but I would really like to use the new yarn that I have so that I can share it with people. And then another pattern that I would love to make, I just really don't know if I'm going to have the time for it, but it's actually this pattern, the Nemi skirt. And it's basically just a ribbed long midi skirt, and I was especially drawn to it based on this specific project that I found from someone, because I love it in this dusty pink color. So if I were to see this pattern just like it is like here, I'm not really excited by it, but then from seeing it in pink, I was like, yeah, I want to make that. Specifically also in pink. So it's made with a sport weight yarn, and I actually do have Drops Baby Merino. I will put a picture on the screen of the colorway that I have. So I'm thinking that could be really nice. It is knit on 3.5mm needles. And just at this point in time, the thought of knitting this on 3.5mm needles and like a midi length does not seem very exciting to me. Even though I am craving like more mindless projects right now, I just don't know if I'm at that point yet. But I do think it's going to happen one day. So for now, it's just going to patiently wait on my making list. And then I would also love to make the Brady loop sweater. I think for sure I shared this one in my knitting plans video for fall. I'm not entirely sure, but I think I did, right? But it's still on there and I still have the yarn for it. I chose like a really cute foresty green color that I will also put on the screen. And it's going to be quite different for me. Like I don't have any sweaters in that color yet. And I think that would just be really fun. And I feel like this is going to be a nice mix of like cables, but then also a part that is more mindless because it has like a ribbing pattern. And it would also be my first saddle shoulder, which would be very exciting. And then finally, I also have some free patterns planned. So I'm actually currently knitting the mitten version of this, and I would love to make a matching hat. So this is the Frosted Bloom hat. It's knit with Drops Merino Extra Fine on 3.5mm needles. And like I said, I made the matching mittens that you can kind of see here a little bit on the image. And I think it would be really nice to have a matching set. I don't think I have anything more to say about that. I just love matching sets. And I think it would be nice to kind of then match with my handmade coat that I'm probably going to make for this fall winter season. And Drops also just released this pattern. This is called the Cabled Calm hat. And I think this is such a nice basic pattern, like with the cables and then the ribbing between. Just really nice. And they made it with Drops Lima and Drops Kid Silk held together on 4mm needles. And that's kind of like yarn that I always have in my stash. Like it's just a DK weight with a mohair. So I feel like this would just be like a really fun little thing to make when I feel like knitting a hat, basically. So those were all of the things that I'm really like realistically thinking about making right now. So all of the fabrics and the yarns that I would love to get for them or that I already have. I really hope that you enjoyed like seeing kind of like my process behind choosing patterns and also like my actual fall winter patterns that I have right now. Because like I said, it was quite different from the patterns that I originally shared, but that was more like my kind of thinking phase, like inspirational. And this is more my actual making and practicality phase, like seeing what gaps I am missing in my wardrobe and seeing what really suits my personal style. I've thought a lot more about these patterns and I really love them, and I hope you do too, and that this was a fun video for you to watch. For now, I wish you all a very happy day, happy knitting, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!